Hey, this is Rage from SageNtheRage. Wanted to do a little piece on the World of Warcraft cinematic and kind of analyze some of the things that we can draw out of here as far as character development and maybe some story plots and threads that show themselves within the cinematic if we take a closer look. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the full cinematic in its entirety one time through, and then we're going to come back and analyze it, look at it, kind of put some things in reverse and forward, and try to capture a few facial expressions. The facial expressions on some of our characters, although not saying a lot verbally, show some character development for characters like Sylvanas and Anduin. So let's go ahead, play the normal cinematic, and then we'll dive in here on this.
Ours is a cycle of hatred. Alliances forged and broken. We have paid the price for sharing this world. And we have forgotten what makes us strong.
Close rank! Advance has won! Lordaeron will be ours! My king, we have her cornered.
Keep firing!
Stand as one for the Alliance!
So we open up with this panning shot over Lordaeron. And then we see some stairs and these horde banners that are all over, and what these horde banners are made out of. Now, what I want to pull off here is as we come up, the entire city of Lordaeron is now in horde banners made up of things from orc and troll components, the horns and everything else like that. And it looks like as we pan up the stairs to our right here, those are not undead archers entirely. Some of those could be blood elves. Sylvanas has gathered the entire horde here. We get our Blizzard Entertainment Presents, and then we go back into the trailer here. And the entire horde is here. Everything is decorated to celebrate that. And here we see, well, Varian Wren's weapon in the hands of someone extremely armored. Now, we come to find out, as you already watched the trailer, that this is Anduin. But look at him. When the camera pans up to him, this is a commanding presence. His armor alone inspires the Lion of Stormwind. I mean, he just looks rough, tough, and ready to go. And so maybe part of the armor is to help him gain that, trust from his troops there. So here we go back to our archers unloading down below, Sylvanas with them, and we see this bombardment hit. So let's kind of back that up a little bit. Look at Sylvanas' face when she reacts. That's a, oh, hell no, you didn't face. That look of scorn. And she is not having it. We see the dwarves kind of working with the phalanx here of the soldiers. And then we've got an entire siege engine tower approaching. Now, this scene right here is what I really want to focus on. They do a great job of capturing that war is nasty. You feel compassion for this orc in this quick little clip here being carried off by this Tauren, and you feel the horde losing this battle in this moment. And so it almost makes you want to not enjoy the Alliance so much. And right here, this archer scene, I want to rewind this. Those are our Night Elven archers. So they've come all the way over from Teldrassil to here to back up the Alliance in combat. So who did throw the first stone? Why are they here? If not to get vengeance. Just a thought, not saying that is the case. And here we see the Alliance closing in. The horde, again, compassion for them. Now look at her face. Speaking of compassion, this turns to anger, but let's wind it back. And that look right there, that's compassion for her people. Shows some character development for Sylvanas. She dives in here, showing why she is a windrunner, and just takes out this entire siege weapon by herself. And then we see this full Banshee mode right here. Boom, that's scary as hell. And so is that anger just for losing the fight? Or, as we saw earlier with the rewind there, the compassion on her face turns to anger to see her people being hurt. Is this actually rage for her people? And is that some nice character development for Sylvanas? Maybe she's actually thinking about somebody else besides herself like she was in Legion. And then it almost seems like she leeches the strength out of these soldiers. See that shadowy stuff come up. She screams for the horde, and all of a sudden it's like they're empowered, not only by the scream, but maybe by what she did in that Banshee attack. And so the fight continues on. The Tauren is now just charging full forward. We get this full grasp of war. The people who we weren't empathizing with before the Alliance, all of a sudden they're on the opposite side here. And let's talk about Anduin here for a second. Look at him. He is wearing this armor. As I said earlier, maybe it's just an illusion. He's clumsy. He is not Varian as far as a warrior goes yet. Yes, he's in the plate mail. Yes, he's rocking the sword. But look at his strikes. They're not fluid. They're clumsy. They're scattered. He gets knocked back with no retort. The helm comes off, and we see, well, in my opinion, what looks like Brad Pitt, a very young Brad Pitt. But all joking aside, he does not have that scar-driven, war-driven experience, battle-hardened face that Varian has. So maybe that's another reason for that helmet, to inspire his troops despite his physical prowess. And here we see him character development. He's looking around seeing being a warrior in all this plate armor isn't working for me. It isn't working for how I need to lead. Sees his father's sword, reminded of that scene on the burning shore, throws it down. And we see this development. I need to honor who I am and my father. And so being this warrior isn't working, especially at this moment in this battle. And now we empathize with the Alliance and think of the Horde as the attackers. This is such a great cinematic. Throws the sword down, and all of a sudden, I'm going to embrace who I am. And that is a servant or a warrior of the light. And boom, the blast goes off. Sylvanas almost has a curious look on her face right there. And this is the biggest AoE battle res full heal we've ever seen in Warcraft history, ladies and gentlemen. This is massive. All the troops get back up, and as you're watching this, all of a sudden you're like, heck yeah, the underdog, and all of a sudden now you're rooting for the Alliance when you were just rooting for the Horde earlier. We see all this light coming down, Anduin picks up, and now look at his face when he goes for this charge. He's almost got a smile right there at the end. And Sylvanas looks back, and she's almost got a smile. So we see both these characters embracing that they are the leaders of their factions. They are the people who speak for the rest of their factions, and almost this enjoyment in the battle. And so it really gives us a viewpoint into what the battle for Azeroth is all about. Our leaders almost have a sense of enjoyment in the battle. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. If you like this, hit like and subscribe. Share with your friends. We'll see y'all in World of Warcraft.